St. Louis's own William S. Burroughs. And this is kind of a collage of stuff that I have read at several events I did his. Well, I used to read him at Day of the Dead Beats, which was an annual celebration of Beat Generation poetry. I did his 100th birthday party at the Heady Anchor, and then I got invited to read when they dedicated his bust outside of Left Bank Books at what they call Writer's Corner there at McPherson and Euclid. Here it goes. A writer's will is the winds of dead calm in the western lands. Point way out, he can start stirring up the sail. Writer, where are you going? Write. Here we are in the text already written on the sky, where he doesn't need to write anymore. Always remember, the work is the main sail to reach the western lands. The texts sing. Everything is grass and bushes, a desert or a maze of texts. Here you are, never use the same door twice. Sky in all directions, on the word for word. The word for word is word. The western sail stirs candles on 1920 country club table. Each page is a door to everything is permitted. The fragile lifeboat between this and that. Your words are the sails. The road to the western lands is the most dangerous of all roads, and in consequence the most rewarding. To know the road exists violates the human covenant. You are not allowed to confront fear, pain, and death, or to find out that the sacred human covenant was signed under pressure of fear, pain, and death. They can keep their covenant in case of being caught short with 1,000,000 years of bullshit. To enter the western lands means leaving the covenant behind in the human house with the monkey war catalog. I want to reach the western lands right in front of you, across the bubbling brook. It is a frozen sewer. It is known as the Duat, remember? All the filth and horror, fear, hate, disease, and death of human history flows between you and the western lands. Let it flow. How long does it take a man to learn that he cannot want what he wants? You have to be in hell to see heaven. Glimpses from the land of the dead. Flashes of serene and timeless joy. A joy as old as suffering and despair. The old writer couldn't write anymore because he had reached the end of words. The end of what can be done with words. My brain is now littered with old bits and pieces. When you see someone who looks like the saddest man in the world, that's him. How can a man who sees and feels be anything other than sad? Well, you should have thought of these things. I did. But thinking is not enough. Nothing is. There is no final enough of wisdom, experience, no holy grail, no final satori, no final solution, just conflict. Only thing that can resolve conflict is love. Love, what is it? The most natural painkiller there is. They have nothing to teach you anyway, his father said. Consider the menace potential posed to you and your compadres by decent church-going folk. You want to take care of those vermin without endangering your fellow Johnsons. Now, what characterizes these shits? They have to be right. They need the approval of others. Both needs are so constant and compulsive as to assume the proportion of biological needs, like the need of an addict for morphine. A page from the Denver Post passed through his mind. Pet owners panicked by mysterious dog deaths. A new disease, it seems, confined to dogs. Man made dogs in his own lousiest backyard, the house. Well, if a dog attacks dogs, chances are good it will attack human beings, right in their ugly, snarling, ingratiating, cop-loving, priest-loving, boss-loving, God-loving epicenter. The vile, groveling worshippers of the slave gods. When a disease means food from one host species to another, with no natural immunity to that strain, the agent can become incomparably more efficient. Most attempts at pure warfare, in fact, start with animal diseases like glanders, current fever, anthrax. Kim paused to reflect that a plant virus, once it got root in human soil, might produce a Garden of Eden while you wait. A paradise consistent of plants and fertilizer. We have a virus which we may term the right virus, already accompanying the target. We have a disease agent canine programmed to attack selectively any host occupied by RV, the right virus. Our agent canine is further linked with the DO, the death organism. Just formulate the thought, I am right and you are dead. Plans are underway to buy land in the Mound Builder area of Illinois, across the river from St. Louis, to found a new town. Johnsonville will serve as a communications center and clearinghouse for intelligence reports. The tone will be flatly ordinary. They'll bore people out of it. Kim spent several days writing up a scenario for Johnsonville. Towns like Johnsonville can only exist with strict security and control a buffer area to prevent infiltration. Basic concept is sound. A town like this looks like any other town to the outsider. The same formula can be applied even more successfully to a neighborhood in a big city where people are less curious. Is it good for the Johnsons? That's what Johnson Intelligence is for. To protect and further Johnson objectives. The realization of our biological and spiritual destination in space. You are a plotter. It is satisfying work. We have observed that most of the trouble in this world is caused by 10 to 20% of folks who can't run their own business because they have no business of their own mind anymore than a smallpox virus. Now, your virus is an obligate cellular pet parasite. My contention is that we solve evil was quite literally a virus parasite occupying a certain brain area, maybe termed the right center. The burden of a basic shit is that he has to be right. Victimless crimes are the lifeline of the right virus. And there is a growing recognition, even in official quarters, that victimless crimes should be removed from the books or subject to minimum penalties. Those individuals who cannot or will not mind their business cling to the victimless crime concept, equating drug use and private sexual behavior with robbery and murder. The right mind one's own business is recognized. The whole ship position is untenable, and hell hath no vociferous fury than an endangered parasite. Drug laws must reflect society's disapproval of the addict. And here is Reverend Roswell in the Denver Post. Homosexuality is an abomination to God and should never be recognized as legal human life any more than robbery or murder. We seek a total solution to the shit problem. All the shits in the world like cows and the foot and mouth disease. Here is a town of 2,000 people. Spotters have picked 123 hardcore shits. If, over a period of several months, these shits die, become sick, go insane, go bankrupt, no one in town thinks anything about about it. No apparent relation between disparate influences. No pattern. For such louts as the mafioso, assassination is simply a means of expanding or consolidating territorial rights. The people they kill are very much like themselves. Writers in the same line of business, with the same stupid criminal Words are still the principal instruments of control. Suggestions are words. Persuasions are words. Orders are words. No control machine so far devised can operate without words. And any control machine which attempts to do so relying entirely on external force or entirely on the physical control of the mind will soon encounter the limits of control. Modern government armed with heavy weapons and prepared for attack would wipe out 95% of its citizens. But who would do the work? Who would protect them from the soldiers and technicians needed to command the weapons? Americans have a special power of giving up control and letting things happen their own way without interference. The whole of Western psychology has been sidetracked from the way it should have gone. It should have gone along the lines of Pavlov and the conditioned reflex. And what does the money machine need to shit out? It needs youth, spontaneity, life, beauty, and above all, it needs creativity. It needs quality, and ships out quantity. America may well be the hope of the world. It is the source of such emotional plagues as drug hysteria, racism, Bible morality, Protestant Catholic ethnicity, muscular Christianity that has spread everywhere, transforming this planet into an annex of hell. America is not so much a nightmare as a non-dream. The American non-dream is precisely a move to wipe the dream out of existence. The dream is a spontaneous happening and therefore dangerous to the control system set up by non-dreamers. What I am here to learn is a new way of thinking. There are no lessons and new teachers. There are no books and new work to be done. I do almost nothing. The first step is to stop doing everything you have to do. The new way of thinking has nothing to do with logical thought. It is no oceanic organismal subconscious body thinking. It is precisely delineated from what is not. The new way of thinking is thinking you would do if you didn't have to think about any of the things you ordinarily think about if you had no work to do, nothing to be afraid of, no plans to make. Any exercises to achieve this must themselves be set aside. It is a way you would think if you didn't have to think up a way of thinking what you don't have to do. We learn to stop words to see, and touch words to move, and use words like objects. Quick fix. What a contrasimple. Earth has a lot of things other folks might want, like the whole planet. And maybe these folks would like a few changes made. Like more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and room for their way of life. We have seen this happen before, right in these United States. Your way of life destroyed the Indians' way of life. The Indian reservation is extinction. But I offer this distinction. I'm with the invaders, no use trying to hide that. And at the same time, I disagree with some of the things they're doing. Oh, we're not united any more than you are. Oh, we're not united any more than you are. Conservative factions just set on nuclear war as a solution to the Indian personality. Others disagree. Others disagree. I don't claim that my methods are 100% humane, but I do say if we can't think of anything quieter and tighter than that, we are all not that much better than new birth cakes. There is no place else to go. The theater is closed. There is no place else to go. The theater is closed. Cut word lines. Cut music lines. Smash the control images. Smash the control machine. The first and most important thing an individual can do is become an individual again. Decontrol himself as to what is going on and win back as much independent ground for himself as possible. When you stop growing, you start dying. I want to reach the Western land. All the filth and horror, fear, hate, disease, and death of human history flows between you and the Western lands. Let it flow. There is no final enough of wisdom experience, no holy grail, no final satori, no final solution, just conflict. Only thing that can resolve conflict is love. What is it? The most natural painkiller there is. Love.
minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Brett Underwood.
Long live the no-show.
Yeah.